This is the Ford Expedition, one of the top 10 longest lasting vehicles on the road today. This is Ford's big SUV with room for 8 and best-in-class cargo space, perfect for my guest today. When you want strength, durability, and safety, this is your pick. Today we're rolling in Lexington on our way to pick up one of UK's all-time greats, Kenny Skywalker. Kenny won Georgia's Mr. Basketball Award in 1982 before becoming a 4-year All-SEC star and 2-time All-American at Kentucky. In 1984, he took Kentucky to the Final Four, and in '86, he set an NCAA tournament record that still stands today, when he went 11 for 11 in field goals against Western Kentucky. He was a first-round pick for the Knicks, and in 1989, he beat Clyde Drexler to become the slam dunk champion of the NBA. Kenny's 11-year basketball career took him all over the world with stops in Italy, Spain, and Japan. But these days, you'll find him right here in Lexington working on the radio, talking about the sport and the team he loves. And today, we'll visit the very spot that was the turning point in his life.
I'm coming home, tell the world
I got a Ford myself, and I love it. Get the edge.
Man, this thing is, well, you need a big family, a lot of folks, because it's got a lot of room.
So, Kenny, I thought we would take a little drive down around campus.
Okay.
Kind of cruise by some of your old stomping grounds and do a little reminiscing, if that's cool with you.
Oh, that'll be really cool, man. It's always good to go back kind of where it started.
What was it about Kentucky? You're a Georgia kid. Georgia was after you. Auburn, who had a good program at the time, was after you. But you chose Kentucky. What was the thing that drew you to Kentucky?
Part of Joe Hall's recruiting pitch was, hey, if you come to the University of Kentucky, you're going to play 6 to 8 games on national TV with the fanfare and the facilities and the tradition of the program. It's unlike any other.
Kenny, obviously you got the Skywalker nickname.
Yeah, it came at Kentucky, and after the very first Midnight Madness practice that we had, I was doing the dunks and the fans were going crazy. And it was either Sam Bowie or Melvin Turpin or Leonard Hamilton. One of them said, man, he was like a Skywalker. And, and then, of course, the name stick, Kenny Skywalker. Kids think that I'm named after Luke Skywalker from Star Wars.
My daughter is getting into the Star Wars movie, and she asked me the other day if Luke Skywalker was named after you. Memorial Coliseum right there.
Outside of Freedom Hall, this was my favorite place to play. A lot of history and tradition in that place. And yeah, when you walk in there, you feel privileged to play on a court that so many greats have played on. This is where the Wildcat Lodge used to be, right here. We used to walk right across the street, right to the Coliseum to practice. So everything was done right there. We were in this little circle. We walked to the Coliseum, practice. The Student Center was right across the street. All of that is just great memories.
So tell me about what it was like to play in New York.
I grew up in a small rural area in Georgia. So when I first went to New York, man, I thought, okay, I've handled 4 years at the University of Kentucky dealing with media, fans, and all of this. I'm ready for New York. Yeah. Boy, was I wrong. I don't think you can ever be ready for New York.
Kenny, when you were in the NBA, sort of your big moment was when you were the slam dunk champion. I think you beat Clyde Drexler. A lot of people don't realize, though, you were batting a lot of real tough time emotionally with your family.
I got a call from my brother, said that my father had passed away. So I went home to talk to my mom about, hey, I'm going to pull out of the dunk contest. But to my surprise, when I got home, my mom basically said, why don't you go and do the dunk contest? Because, if your dad would have been here today, he would have been right in front of that TV watching. I remember calling the Knicks and telling them, look, get my ticket together. I was a little nervous to be, to the beginning, contest. And matter of fact, my first dunk was pretty weak. And Clyde Drexler came up to me after my first dunk. He said, Kenny, you got to do the dunks that you were doing in warm-up, get the crowd into it. And he had been amazing until we got to the finals. We got to the final round, he missed all 3 of his dunks.
Is that right?
And I told somebody that was my dad from heaven blocking them out of there to make sure I could reserve the win.
If you had to pick 4 Kentucky players to play with you to win a game,
Oh, got to have Dan Issel on there.
Yeah.
Jamal Mashburn has always been a favorite of mine. Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And I'm torn between John Wall and Tony Delk. I think I'm going Tony Delk.
Kenny, been great talking to you, my friend.
No, man, it was great. I appreciate the ride, going down memory lane. All right,
Sky,
man.
take care.
All right, I appreciate it, Larry. You have yourself a good day, man.
Guys, that's it for now, but we'll be back on the road pretty soon. Meanwhile, there's a great new Ford car truck with your name on it, and you can find it at your Kentucky Ford dealer. And ride along with me next time on The Pickup Game.